My name is Lourdes Colon.
What brought you here?
I'm here because I have Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer in the lymphatic system.
How long have you had this cancer?
She's since September, well, I was diagnosed September of 2010.
September 2010.
And we're in 2012.
What did you do when you were first diagnosed with cancer?
I just started doing a lot of research to do things naturally. I just couldn't get myself to do chemo or any of that.
After the research, what happened?
Things kept progressing. It's like I was going up and down. You know, I would do nutrition and detoxing, and so, and then I'd get good, and then it'd go bad, and then I got really sick. And to the point actually where I got finally to the last stage of the cancer. And then a friend of mine told me about, and if I can get this name right,
Integrative Cancer Therapy Centers.
Yes, yes.
Dr. John?
And yes, and he told me about Dr. John Jimenez and had said, you need to talk to him. There's this place, it's got, you know, stuff that it's up your alley. So I'm like, okay. And then I ended up with pneumonia and all these other things that happened. And then I finally got a hold of him. And at that time, I barely could even breathe. I couldn't breathe. I was on oxygen. Walking was really close to impossible. I was super weak. I was swollen. Like my arm was, I got to show you my husband's arm because it's like, it was bigger than his arm. And step over here because I'm going to show the arm. And then you can imagine how it was so swollen that it hurt. Like, it just hurt. So here's my husband's arm. And this was bigger than that. And then this one had it like this. So I called them clubs. And it just was so painful, like everything. The fingers was swollen. My feet were like sausages. My shoes no longer fit. So I was walking around more with like his shoes or his socks. And it fit nicely. And that's a lot to say because he's a 12 and a half. So then when I did get to meet Dr. John Jimenez, which was amazing. He was like my savior, if you will. Amazingly sweet, really understanding, and really worked with me and got me here. And when I got here, literally I was like close to death. And I couldn't breathe. Like, I was very pale. And I mean, like I don't even remember getting in the room. Like I was so out of it. And so the first week, it was like all this detox and stuff. And of course, all they gave me a lot of stuff that was like nutrition, which is what I was desperately needing because I couldn't eat. Like if I took a bite or two, I was stuffed. To now, I'm hungry every 2 hours, I eat a lot. And I can breathe. You know, they took a lot of liquid out that was around my lungs that made it impossible to breathe. And found all these other things that I didn't even know I had that now is all getting taken care of. My arms are back down. My feet aren't sausages anymore. I can actually talk because it was really hard to talk before.
You walk by yourself?
I can walk by myself. That's true. And I have more energy. A lot of the nodes are gone. You know, like the large nodes that I had are really, I was surprised. I mean, like they are just shrink. Some I don't feel anymore. Like you really got to search for them. And that was from just all the stuff that they gave me in the treatments and therapies that I was getting that's non-toxic, that didn't do any damage. What it was doing was shrinking the bad while it was giving me nutrition and giving me back to health. And oh my gosh, you don't even know how thankful I am. Because I I went from feeling like death to feeling alive. And that's 2 weeks, you know, and just 2 more weeks and I'll be like, hello.
Why didn't you take suggested recommended therapy in the United States, chemotherapy and radiation for your problem?
I didn't pick the chemotherapy that they wanted me to do in the United States because I don't want them to kill the cancer while they're killing me. It just didn't make sense to me. Because I'm going, okay, so if cancer here, here, and here, and then you're destroying the rest of my cells. I've seen many of my friends went through it, and at the end they died anyway. And they had the most, you know, horrible quality of life before they died. And then those that did live, and I know this personally because my sister went through the chemotherapy and all that, and she takes like 10 different prescriptions. I mean, literally, her immune system is shot permanently. She's always sick. Her joints hurt. She gets this, was it like the electrical?
She has to hook up electrical
thing,
to her arm.
just so that because her muscle, she gets that bad of muscle spasms from the results of, you know, the side effects that she got from chemo.
High blood pressure, they can't.
She's got, and she's a thin woman, and yet she's got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, like all these issues because of that. And looking at her quality of life, and she's had it 4 times.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is the most curable disease, you know, Hodgkin's, because she had the same thing. And I'm like, well, if they can get rid of it, then why did you get it again? You know? And then from there, she ended up getting breast cancer. Then they removed that, and then she got it again. So as I'm going, well, you're destroying your body, and you keep getting cancer. Well, what's the point? I'd rather do it in a non-toxic way and then get rid of it and take care of myself from then on and eat right and do the right things. So it just made more sense to me after doing, you know, like really looking at things and going, this is what chemo does, and these are all the side effects. Yeah. This is what coming here does, and there is no side effects other than you get healthy, and I can handle that side effect. So,
is there anything I haven't asked you that you think is important?
Yeah, I think everyone, you know, first of all, when you first get told you've got cancer, you get scared. That's the you know, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Am I going to make it? And okay, do that, and then put it aside, and just really do the research instead of taking your life and handing it over to someone else. That's just going to tell you whatever they were taught, and that's all they know. Or you can just do the research and say, okay, let me see and really see what have people done. Talk to those people and that did the non-toxic. See if that works for you, you know? And then look at the chemo, you know? Go for the destruction last. Go for the rebuilding first, because that's what's going to give you your life. So do the research. It's your life. I mean, if you really want to live and you really love yourself, you're going to do the work.